For many people with celiac disease, they also struggle with ongoing nausea. So being nauseous is definitely a side effect that many people with celiac disease have before their diagnosis. So even if you've got a diagnosis and you've cut out gluten and you still feel nauseous and it's an ongoing issue, I want to talk about that with you today and give you some of the reasons that could be causing this so that you can get to the bottom of it, because you should not be dealing with feeling nauseous on a day-to-day basis or regularly. So let's jump on in. Welcome to the Healthy Celiac Show. I'm your host, Belinda Whelan from belindawhelan.com, and here you will learn to live your very best life with celiac disease. So we are going to be talking all about health-related topics because you, my friend, are more than just a woman with celiac disease. Be sure to hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss an episode, and welcome to the show. So aside from the obvious reasons that can cause feeling nauseous, such as pregnancy, so there can be some health reasons that can cause feeling nauseous. So if you can rule those ones out, then we can talk about some of the easier reasons that we can pinpoint that could be causing nausea for you. So the first one that you should be able to rule out very easily is if it's medication. So if you don't take any medication, you can straight away say that, no, Belinda, it is not from medication side effects. But if perhaps you've recently started on a new medication, you might be able to backtrack and see that your nausea actually started when you started taking a new medication. So that's an easy one to pinpoint. And if that's the case, then you might need to go and speak to your doctor or your primary health caregiver and see if there's an alternative that you can trial and see if that stops the nausea for you. Now, the next one is mental health and anxiety. So they kind of tie in hand and they can cause a nauseous feeling. When I struggled with postnatal depression, I did have a little bit of nausea, and I personally think that that came down to many different factors and not looking after myself as far as food, and we're going to get into that in a minute, but that can kind of have that spiral on effect. The next one is hormonal changes. So depending on where you're at in your time of life, it could be to do with hormones. So that might be something to get a check with your doctor as well. Even thyroid disorders. So we've talked about the thyroid on previous episodes, and this is something that you should be getting tested annually. So if you do have any, say, hypothyroidism, that could be something that could be causing nausea for you. So that's something to keep a look on as well with your doctor. So there could also be another digestive issue going on for you. So many people with celiac disease also struggle with IBS. So IBS can cause nausea as well, or it could be something else like pancreatitis. That's just a few. There's lots of different ones that you can look into, but that's just a couple that could be causing nausea for you as well. Now, the most obvious one that I would be looking into first would be if gluten is sneaking into your diet somehow. And again, this is going to your doctor or your primary caregiver and getting a blood test done to see how your levels are going. If you have gluten sneaking into your diet, then that would be the very first thing that I would be very strict about and pinpoint where you are getting gluten in your diet from. And obviously, this is something that I can help you with if you need more guidance on this. So this is where Ultimate Celiac System comes in, because it will teach you all the different ways to make sure gluten is not sneaking into your diet. So check that out if that's something that you're finding you're struggling with. This one here is the one that people overlook all the time, and it is so simple, but unfortunately it happens to so many people, and it is low blood sugar. And low blood sugar for people that get nausea, say in the morning, is basically because they need to get up and they need to eat breakfast. And when you think of the word breakfast breakfast means to break the fast. You have been fasting while you've been asleep, and you need to replenish your blood sugar levels. You need to make sure you get up and you have a nourishing breakfast. And once you do that, that usually helps many, many people with nausea. So try that. If you're not currently eating in the morning, that is the first thing that I would be trialing before anything else, because that could be as simple as it is. You may just be getting up, having low blood sugar, you feel nauseous. So what happens then is you don't want to eat food. With my first pregnancy with my daughter, who's now 15, I was so nauseous through my pregnancy. I struggled every single day because I was getting up and I was feeling so ill, and I didn't want to eat because I thought it was going to make me sick. And it wasn't until I got on a flight with one of my fellow flight attendants, and she had much more experience in this area with me than me. And she said to me, "Belinda, you need to eat before you even get out of bed." So I started doing that. I was having little bags of crackers and little bags of chips in the morning before I was getting out of bed. And that helped me dramatically. So it could even be as simple as having a few little nuts or some little dry crackers next to your bed and having before you get out of bed if you struggled that badly, and just seeing if that helps you. But if you can make it to the kitchen and you can get a nourishing, healthy breakfast into you, that's going to be a much better option for you. But I just found that when I was pregnant, that helped me a lot. So there's just an idea that could help you if you are struggling with low blood sugar. Now, it's not just breakfast. You do need to make sure that you're eating enough food during the day. Some people complain of feeling nauseous all day long. And again, so many people are scared of eating when they get diagnosed with celiac disease, or they're not eating enough because they're confused, they're overwhelmed, they don't know where to start. So find some things that make you feel good. Some favorites, some basics, some really easy snacks, and have those on rotation, because that will help you with your blood sugar levels and help you maintain a healthy weight as well. Now, some ideas to help with nausea, aside from food, if it's not the food thing. If it's anxiety or something like that that's causing it, it can be as simple as getting some fresh air. If you're cooped up inside all day long, it might just be go outside, take some deep breaths, enjoy some fresh air, and it can just make you feel so much better. And obviously, things that we've talked about in the past, things that help with an upset tummy, are things like peppermint tea, ginger tea, things like that you can sip on as well. And a big one as well is just simply staying hydrated. Drinking water consistently throughout the day, every single day, can help as well. So I hope that gives you some ideas. One of the great ways to keep a track of what you're eating and how you're feeling is to write down everything for a period of time, just to see what's going on for you. So for this, I recommend you grab a copy of my daily health tracker, which is available on Amazon in many, many different countries. I absolutely love this health tracker because it will help you pinpoint some of the issues that are coming up for you. So in particular with nausea, if it's to do with food, if it's to do with not drinking enough water, things like that, you should be able to start pinpointing it from your health tracker. So just go to Amazon in your country, type in Belinda Whelan, and the options should come up there. I've got one for men and one for women, and you just pick the one that you need and go from there, and that'll be sent straight to your door. So yeah, check that out if you haven't already. So I hope this episode helps those of you that struggle with nausea, and it can help you pinpoint what might be going on for you, because like anything, you shouldn't be struggling. You shouldn't be suffering. You should be feeling great. And if you're not, then don't put up with it. Don't just live with these things, because you don't have to. It's about being empowered. It's about learning about your body and learning what's going on for you and getting to the bottom of these issues so that moving forward, you can feel much better and much healthier and have energy and feel great about your life. So I hope this has inspired you. Thank you so much for listening, and I look forward to talking with you again next week on the show. Have a wonderful week. Talk to you soon. Take care. Bye. If you enjoyed this episode, head to belindawhelan.com to get yourself a free copy of my exclusive ebook, 11 Mistakes People Make Going Gluten-Free Living with Celiac Disease.